Hey Narwhals, it's your host Luke Narwhal, and it's time for another weight loss discussion. Hope it's helpful. Let's dive right in. It's insanity how little humans are supposed to eat. Too long didn't read. I was surprised by how little food adds up to so many calories when it looks like little food. I've always thought I didn't eat very much, and I've been confused more than once when my scale starts logging personal best high scores. I don't eat breakfast. I rarely eat a full lunch. I snack a lot and have large evening meals. I always thought all this was maybe 1,500 calories, but turns out I'm closer to 3,000. For anyone that is interested, here's what I consumed today. Chicken wings and cheesy tortilla wraps with salsa, 1,804 calories. Processed chicken and bacon pasta, 450, a mini pork pie, 300, a few Coke cans, 300, and some coffees with milk. To try and combat this tomorrow, I'll be consuming porridge, breakfast, mixed steamed vegetables with rice, lunch, and a potato, chicken breast, and steamed veg for dinner. Approximately 1,300 calories altogether. Might throw in an apple or two if I'm still hungry. My question to all you kind folks: what the hell do you eat to stay healthy? I need ideas and inspiration for easy to make foods when you have little time. Well, you're eating a lot of heavily processed foods. A lot of processed foods are designed to be extremely tasty, which often involves creating them with far more calories, sugar, and/or salt than food generally has. I'm allergic to corn, so I can't eat most processed foods. When you have to make food from scratch, you can eat a lot more volume for the same calories. Also, some foods have extremely low calories. I often eat a huge bowl of salad, but I fill the bowl with mostly lettuces, and then add smaller amounts of the more caloric ingredients like hard-boiled egg and nuts. I can eat quite the volume of lettuce without worrying about the calories in it, but things like cheese, nuts, olive oil, and avocado, I need to pay attention to, because those calories can add up quickly. And that's without consuming something like soda, when drinking calories tends to not fill people up much and is a really easy way to get a large batch of calories. The insanity is how much processed foods do you eat? Sorry, I don't want to be mean, only to play with your words. In my experience, your mileage may vary. Skipping meals is not a concern if and only if you don't snack. My guess is that you get a lot of your calories from snacks, more than the calories you have gotten if you had eaten breakfast. I stopped drinking Coke except for birthdays or some reunions, like twice a month, and I never looked back. It's crazy to see how the calories add up when you first start counting. Before calorie tracking and losing weight, I was blindly snacking on hundreds of calories in cereal, adding way too much peanut butter to my toast and oatmeal, and using hundreds of extra calories in cooking oil, condiments, and salad dressings. For me, I keep my calories in line and meet my nutritional needs by focusing on vegetables. My lunch and dinner plates tend to be 75% veg, and then I'll have a little bit of starch and a protein for the other 25%. These meals are most often bowls, salads, stir-fries, or sheet pan meals of roasted things like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, green beans, squash, potato, tofu, chicken, pork, etc. Best advice I have is to switch to diet soda. I'll probably get downvoted because a lot of people hate on artificial sugars, but at least it's 0 calories and you can get your soda fix. No, I agree. One of the easiest ways to cut calories without being hungry is to stop drinking them. Alternatively to diet soda, you can try to cut down first. Have 1 can of soda instead of 2. Humans aren't really supposed to eat hyper-processed foods that are calorie dense. Fresh vegetables, fruits, lean meats, and tubers are hard to overeat. I actively need to try to hit 3,000 calories eating whole foods. Processed foods are super calorie dense. I recently upped my calorie intake from 1,200 to 1,500, and I'm struggling to make it most days with whole foods alone. Granted, I'm doing 16-8 intermediate fasting along with it, basically skip breakfast, and I'm focusing on protein, which keeps me full. But I can easily eat that 1,500 all in one sitting with my favorite processed foods. I can eat so much chicken, fish, or even steak and not even sniff my calorie limit. Focus your meals on a protein source cooked in a healthy way with veggies and cut out extraneous fat and carbs, and you can stuff yourself every night. Live on beans. Man, they're filling and good for you. You can have enormous volumes of food if you pick the right stuff. Rice and chana masala made without oils and with some spinach in there can literally be pounds of food with 600 to 1,000 calories. I have been vegan and calorie counting for years, and I promise you, I managed to eat disgusting quantities of food because that stuff is satisfying on some lizard brain level stuff. Also, make your rice and mushrooms so the juices cook the rice. It's delicious and keeps the nutrients of the mushrooms while also making the rice sit heavy in your stomach with no cal added. I looked into Mediterranean cooking and I swapped out a lot of the foods for better choices and tons of incredible spices. It makes room in the calorie budget for filling healthy food. I'm never hungry and I'm down almost 60 pounds. Today's breakfast was a low-fat Greek yogurt and almond milk smoothie with berries and banana. Snack was an orange. Lunch was a cup of hot chicken tortilla soup poured over half a cup of cottage cheese. Next snack was an apple and 2 coffee nips. Dinner was a cup and a half of Greek white bean soup with a teaspoon of olive oil drizzled on top and half a whole wheat Greek pita. Dessert was a Ghirardelli chocolate square, and I'm going to have a gin and diet tonic water. Calorie total is 1,206 calories. Get creative, cook, try new foods every week. I eat a lot of food, but it's not rice and potatoes and porridge. You could cut out a lot of the calories by just changing the meats and cuts of meat involved. Chicken breast instead of wings, fresh chicken breast instead of processed chicken, turkey bacon instead of pork bacon, turkey or chicken pie. Lose the Coke, it's empty calories and will stimulate hunger sensations. Low carb tortilla for the regular tortilla. Also, add more fiber to your diet to curb hunger. Your protein consumption is on point, you just need leaner meats. The biggest problem I see here is that you're going down from 3,000 calories to 1,300. And on top of that, the menu you created for yourself is kind of boring and uninspired. You won't stick to it if, like me, you're used to skipping breakfast, snacking a lot, and eating high-calorie dinners. Here's some advice from someone who is also fighting the good fight against snacking and overeating. First of all, garner whatever love for cooking you have. Do you not have any love at all? Well, find recipes you know you like so you're excited to make your food. Making a meal of veggies and rice is boring, and you're going to stop doing that real fast. Trust me, everyone feels like they can stick to it cold turkey, but they can't, and thus the yo-yo begins. Find your favorite recipes, print them out with the steps, have your main meals planned out in advance, and show up accordingly. Keep it simple, but not boring. My second advice, if you're used to 3,000 calories a day, I'm telling you right now, you will fail on 1,300. Maybe you will get past a day, maybe even 2, but you will fail, statistically. Take your total daily energy expenditure for the weight you're at, take 500 away from it, and that should be your goal. Eating 3,000 calories a day to 1,300 is not recommended. And no one likes to be honest about the unsustainability of going from one extreme to the other, but I'm telling you, it won't work. Try 2,000 a day if you must and see how you get on. You will still lose weight quickly if 3,000 is your normal amount. Keep it fun and you will succeed. Boring meals will only leave you wanting, and seeing as we are both snackers, we need to avoid this at all costs. Yep, this is the reason we have so many overweight people, because people don't understand. I'm 5 feet tall. I'm actually on very low calories for me, which is around 1,300 for 4 days, and a higher around 1,650. My normal cutting macros are more around 1,500 to 1,600, but I'm at the end of my cut. The 1,300 is very difficult for me as I love food. I am for 120 grams of protein a day because I'm around 120 pounds. I make my food at home, so like I'll have 2 hard-boiled eggs and a light string cheese stick for breakfast on the go. Plus I'll use 1 to 3 ounce premium protein in my coffee. Lunch and dinner is a healthier meal I make consisting of usually chicken breast or extra lean ground beef with mostly veggies. I am 4 meals under 300 calories currently. I always have a light and fit Greek yogurt. I'll have a dessert, which is usually a 100-calorie ice cream bar, and then I fill in the rest with snacks. I love snacks, which is why I make my meals less. One of my favorites is a mini bag of Smart Pop popcorn. It's 100 calories and it feels like a lot. I've only been on these low calories for 2 weeks now, and I have 2 weeks left before I'm going into my reverse diet to increase my calories. I've been in my cut since the end of May. Started cutting on like 1,900 to 2,000, and I was maintaining on 2,200 to 2,300. And that brings us to the end of the video, Narwhals. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please tap subscribe to join our awesome community, the Narwhals, and for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track.